Imagine this. It's the dead of night in Washington, D.C., just a stone's throw from the White House. The usual city hum is replaced by the rumble of heavy machinery. A construction crew is working late, digging into the earth for a routine infrastructure project. Suddenly, a deafening clang echoes through the night. The excavator grinds to a halt. The operator, confused, peers into the hole they've just dug. What he sees makes his heart pound. It's not a rock, not a pipe, not anything they expected to find. It's metal, a massive, flat, metallic surface. The crew scrambles, their flashlights cutting through the darkness, converging on the spot. As they clear away more dirt, the object's true form is revealed. It's a door! A huge, reinforced steel door, flush with the earth, with no visible handle, no hinges, no keypad, just a solid, impenetrable slab of metal that has clearly been buried for a very, very long time. The site foreman immediately makes a call. This isn't a job for a construction crew anymore. Within minutes, the area is flooded with a different kind of professional men in dark suits. A convoy of black, unmarked vehicles arriving silently. The construction workers are quickly and quietly dismissed, told to forget what they saw. But of course, they couldn't forget. And word gets out. What was this mysterious door? What secrets does it protect, buried so deep beneath the nation's capital? Speculation runs wild. Is it an abandoned Cold War era bunker? A forgotten doomsday vault built for a president long ago? Or perhaps something even older, a secret left by the city's founders? The official story is silence, complete deafening silence. The government offers no explanation. The construction project is indefinitely postponed. The area is cordoned off, hidden from public view behind tall fences, and guarded by armed personnel. This lack of information only fuels the fire of curiosity. Amateur historians and conspiracy theorists alike begin digging into old city plans, presidential diaries, and declassified documents, searching for any clue. Some point to rumors from the Truman administration about a deep-level shelter, far more extensive than the known Presidential Emergency Operations Center. Others whisper about a secret tunnel system, connecting the White House to other key government buildings, a hidden subway for the elite. One of the most fascinating theories suggests it leads to a repository of national treasures or classified technology, a place so secret that its existence has been wiped from official records. Think about it, a door that has been intentionally hidden, buried under tons of earth, right next to the most powerful house in the world. It wasn't meant to be found. Its discovery was a complete accident. This raises a chilling question. What is so important, or so dangerous, that it needed to be sealed away like that? Was it designed to keep people out, or was it designed to keep something in? The possibilities are endless and mind-boggling. From lost historical artifacts to evidence of extraterrestrial contact, every theory seems just as plausible as the next when you're dealing with a mystery of this scale. The story of the White House's hidden door remains one of Washington's greatest unsolved mysteries. The site is now just a patch of neatly manicured lawn, showing no sign of the night it gave up its secret. But for those who know what was found, that patch of grass covers a giant question mark. A steel door that leads to what? We may never know for sure, and perhaps we aren't meant to. What do you think lies behind that mysterious door? Let me know your best theories down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you love diving into mysteries like this, make sure to subscribe for more. So, picture this. You're exploring an old, abandoned building maybe. A forgotten mansion or a dusty, forgotten corner of a library. You turn a corner, and there it is. A door. But this isn't just any door. It's ancient, made of dark, heavy wood, and there's something very, very wrong with it. First, there's no handle. No knob, no latch, not even a keyhole. It's just a solid, seamless slab of wood set perfectly into the wall. How does it even open? As you get closer, you notice it's not entirely plain. The surface is covered in intricate carvings. They're not just decorative patterns, though. They're symbols, arranged in complex lines and circles, and mixed in with these symbols are numbers. But they're not the numbers you and I use every day. They're twisted, geometric, almost alien in their design. You pull out your phone, trying to use a translation app, but it comes up with nothing. No known language detected. You start searching online, deep diving into forums about ancient languages, cryptography, and forgotten alphabets. You compare the symbols on the door to everything from ancient Sumerian cuneiform to Nordic runes, even fictional languages from books and movies. Nothing matters. It's completely unique. The numbers are just as baffling. They don't follow any recognizable mathematical pattern or sequence. It's not binary. It's not hexadecimal. It's something else entirely. What could this mean? Is it a code? A forgotten language from a lost civilization? Or maybe it's not a language at all, but a set of instructions, like a complex schematic, or a star chart pointing to a distant galaxy. The more you stare at it, the more the symbols seem to shift and swim before your eyes. They feel alive. They pulse with a strange, silent energy. The door itself feels cold to the touch, unnaturally so. It's as if the wood is absorbing all the warmth from the room. You press your ear against it, listening. Silence. A deep, profound silence that feels heavier than just the absence of sound. There's a strange feeling in the air, a sense of immense pressure, as if the space behind that door is fundamentally different from our own. You start to wonder about who could have made this. Was it an eccentric genius, a reclusive artist who invented their own secret language? Or was it something older, much older? Maybe it wasn't built by human hands at all. The thought sends a shiver down your spine. A door that doesn't lead to another room, but to another place. Entirely another time, another dimension. The mystery is maddening. The symbols seem to mock you with their silence. Every expert you consult is stumped. Linguists, historians, mathematicians. They've never seen anything like it. Some dismiss it as a hoax, an elaborate piece of art. But you know it's more than that. You can feel it. The door is a lock, and the symbols are the key. But what secret is it protecting? What lies behind it that's so important, or so dangerous, that it requires a lock that no one on Earth can understand? The quest to decipher it becomes an obsession. You spend sleepless nights trying to find a pattern, a logic, a single clue to crack the code. Every dead end just fuels your determination. This door wasn't meant to stay closed forever. It was meant to be opened, but only by someone who could understand its language. The question is, are you that person? What would you do if you found a door like this? Would you walk away, or would you dedicate your life to uncovering its secret? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you love a good mystery, make sure to subscribe for more. Ever heard of a place so secret it practically disappears from the face of the earth overnight? This isn't a plot from some sci-fi movie. This is a true story, and it's far stranger than anything you could imagine. It all begins with a seemingly ordinary workday at a place few have ever heard of. But what happened there would spark a mystery that continues to baffle experts to this day. Picture this. It's a regular day. People are at their jobs, going about their routines, completely unaware that their lives are about to change forever. Suddenly, without any warning, the ground trembles. Not like an earthquake, but something different, something unnatural. A deep, resonant hum fills the air, a sound that seems to vibrate right through your bones. Everyone stops what they're doing. They look around, confused, a little scared. What was that? Before anyone can even begin to process the strange event, the real chaos begins. Within minutes, the horizon is filled with a line of sleek, black SUVs racing towards them. They appear out of nowhere, moving with a silent, intimidating speed. The vehicles surround the entire facility, creating an impenetrable perimeter. Doors swing open in perfect unison, and out step men in dark uniforms, armed with serious-looking gear. They move with military precision, securing every entry and exit point. No one in, no one out. The atmosphere, already tensed from the strange hum, instantly turns to ice cold fear. The workers, still reeling, are herded together. The armed guards don't say much. Their expressions are grim, their eyes hidden behind dark sunglasses. Then, a figure in a sharp suit steps forward. He addresses the crowd, his voice calm but carrying an authority that leaves no room for argument. "Your workday is over," he announces. "You are to leave this facility immediately. You will go home, and you will not speak of what you saw or heard here today. Not to your family, not to your friends. Not to Anduani, is that understood?" The message is crystal clear. Forget this ever happened. They're escorted off the premises, their personal belongings left behind. As they're ushered away, they catch a final glimpse of the site. Teams in full hazmat suits are already swarming the area, setting up large, portable barriers that obscure the view. It's a full-scale, top-level operation, executed with terrifying efficiency. They're being erased from their own workplace. What did they witness? What was that strange hum that seemed to come from the very earth itself? Why the massive, instantaneous cover? These aren't just idle questions. For the people who were there, this event became a defining moment of their lives. They were left with a heavy burden of silence and 1,000 unanswered questions. Some tried to connect with former colleagues, only to find they had moved away or refused to talk. It was as if a giant, invisible hand had wiped the slate clean. In the years that followed, whispers and theories began to emerge. Some say it was a failed experiment with a new type of energy source. Others believe they stumbled upon something not of this world, a discovery so profound, so that the powers that be would do anything to keep it under wraps. The official records, they don't exist. The facility is listed as decommissioned years before the incident. The workers' employment histories are scrubbed. It's a perfect, seamless cover-up. But you can't erase memory. You can't silence the truth forever. This story is a chilling reminder that there are things happening right under our noses, secrets guarded by silent men in black SUV. What really happened on that fateful day? Was it a technological mishap, a natural anomaly, or something else entirely? The mystery remains. What do you think they were so desperate to hide? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you're fascinated by unsolved mysteries and hidden truths, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss what we uncover next. Thanks for watching. The renovation of the old City Hall was supposed to be a straightforward project. Stripping out the asbestos, updating the wiring, bringing the historic building up to code. For the first few weeks, everything went according to plan. The crew worked day in and day out, the rhythmic sounds of hammers and drills echoing through the cavernous halls. But then they found the door. It was on the 3rd floor, at the end of a long, dusty corridor that wasn't used for much besides storage. The door itself was unremarkable thick, dark wood, with a heavy iron handle, but no visible lock. The problem was, it shouldn't have been there. The foreman, a guy named Dave, who'd been in construction for 30 years, was the first to notice. He was reviewing the original blueprints from 1928, cross-referencing them with the modern architectural plans. He traced the lines on the page with a calloused finger, his brow furrowed in concentration. Then he stopped. He looked up, down the corridor, and back at the plans. The wall where the door stood was marked as a solid, unbroken stretch of brick and plaster. There was no door on any version of the plans, not the original, not the 60s renovation, not the new one. It simply didn't exist on paper. Dave called over the site architect and a couple of city officials who were overseeing the project. They stood there for a long time, just staring at it. Whispers turned into low, confused murmurs. The architect kept shaking his head, flipping through his own set of plans with increasing frustration. The city officials, usually so composed and bureaucratic, looked genuinely unnerved. One of them, a woman in a crisp suit, made a hushed phone call, her voice tight with an emotion no one could quite place. Was it anxiety? Or was it fear? The crew was told to leave the area and work on the other side of the building. The next morning, the entire corridor was sealed off with temporary drywall and yellow caution tape. The official story was a structural issue, a potential collapse risk that needed assessment. But everyone knew that was a lie. There was nothing wrong with the structure. The problem was the door. One of the younger workers, a kid named Mike who was on his first big job, later told the others what he'd overheard. He'd been packing up his tools nearby when the officials were leaving. He heard one whisper to the other, his voice trembling slightly. "That door wasn't on any blueprint," he'd said. And the officials, they looked scared, truly scared. that was the last anyone ever spoke of it openly. The project continued, and the new walls sealing off the corridor was eventually plastered and painted, blending in seamlessly, as if it had always been there. The city hall reopened a year later, gleaming and modern. But the construction crew knew. They knew that somewhere on the third floor, behind a fresh layer of drywall and a coat of beige paint, there was a door that wasn't on any map. A door that shouldn't exist. And behind that door, no one knows. The city made sure of that. Sometimes, late at night, when you walk past the old building, you can tee help, but look up at the third floor windows and wonder what secrets are still locked away inside, waiting behind a door that officially was never there. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy mysteries like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. In the dead of night, on a desolate patch of land miles from anywhere, a strange door appeared. No one knew how it got there. It wasn't attached to any building. It just stood there, a solitary black rectangle against the barren landscape. It had no handle, no hinges, no visible way to open it. It was just Tidim. Locals were stumped. Some thought it was a prank, an art installation maybe. Others felt a growing unease. They said that if you stood close enough, you could hear a faint, almost imperceptible humming sound coming from behind it. A low, constant thrum that seemed to vibrate right through the soles of your shoes and into your bones. Curiosity quickly turned to fear. People started reporting strange occurrences nearby. Electronics would flicker and die. Compasses would spin wildly. A few who dared to touch the door's cold, smooth surface claimed they felt a jolt, a static shock that left their arm tingling for hours. Whispers grew into panicked rumors. What was behind that door? What was that humming sound? And why did it seem to be getting just a little bit louder each day? The government got involved. Scientists in hazmat suits arrived, setting up a perimeter. They ran every test imaginable. Ground-penetrating radar, thermal imaging, seismic sensors. The results were baffling. The radar showed nothing behind the door, just solid earth. Yet, the thermal camera detected a faint, pulsing heat signature. The seismic sensors picked up the humming, confirming it wasn't just a local legend. It was real, a deep, rhythmic vibration originating from an unknown source. They tried to drill into the door, but the bits shattered against its surface. It was made of a material they couldn't identify, something harder than diamond. The humming grew stronger. It was no longer a subtle vibration. It was a palpable thrum that could be felt from 100 yards away. The ground around the door began to crack. The air grew thick and heavy, charged with a strange energy. The scientists, their faces etched with worry, admitted they were out of their depth. They couldn't open it. They couldn't move it. And they couldn't explain it. The situation was escalating, and they had no idea what they were dealing with. Fear of the unknown gripped everyone. A decision had to be made, and it had to be made fast. Containment. That was the only option left. If they couldn't understand it, if they couldn't open it, they would bury it. They would encase it so deep that whatever was behind that door, whatever was making that sound, would never see the light of day. It was a desperate gamble, a last-ditch effort to protect the world from a mystery it couldn't solve. The next day, cement trucks roll in, dozens of them lining up in a grim procession under the gray morning sky. For hours, they poured tons of reinforced concrete over the strange, black door. The humming seemed to fight back, vibrating through the wet cement. But slowly, it was muffled, silenced under the immense weight. They didn't stop until a massive, windowless block of concrete stood where the door had been. Then, they brought in bulldozers and buried the entire structure under a mountain of earth. The door is sealed and buried forever. Today, if you were to visit that spot, you wouldn't see anything. Just a small, grassy hill that looks no different from any other. There's no plaque, no marker, no record of what lies beneath. But sometimes, on a quiet night, if you press your ear to the ground, some say you can still feel it. A very, very faint vibration. A deep, slow hum. A secret the earth is keeping. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like and subscribe for more mysteries. Have you ever noticed how quickly things go back to normal? 1 minute, the world is buzzing about something strange, something that doesn't add up. The next, It's as if it never happened. Take a look at the White House. From the outside, it's the picture of stability. Business as usual, the manicured lawns, the crisp flags, the steady stream of official-looking people. It all looks perfectly normal, just like it did yesterday and the day before. But was it? We all saw the reports. We heard the whispers. Something unusual happened. You know what I'm talking about. The sudden flurry of activity, the hushed and hurried statements, the official explanations that seemed to raise more questions than they answered. It dominated the headlines for a day, maybe two, and then silence. The story just vanished, replaced by the next big thing, the next manufactured crisis or celebrity gossip. And now, looking at the White House, it's easy to doubt what we saw. It looked so normal, so serene. Maybe we imagined it. Maybe it was all just a misunderstanding, blown out of proportion by a media cycle hungry for drama. That's what they want you to think, isn't it? They want you to move on, to forget, to accept the comfortable narrative that everything is fine. But a nagging question remains, a little splinter in the back of your mind. If it was truly nothing, just a minor incident, a false alarm, a simple mistake, then why all the secrecy? Why the evasive answers? Why the coordinated effort to bury the story so quickly and so completely? When something is truly insignificant, you don't need to work that hard to make people forget it. You just let it fade. But this didn't just fade. It was poussé. Think about it. In our everyday lives, when we have nothing to hide, we are open. If you spill a coffee, you say, "Oops, I spilled my coffee." You don't create a complex cover story about a localized weather event in your kitchen. Transparency is the hallmark of innocence. Obfuscation, on the other hand, suggests there's something worth concealing. So we're left with this dissonance, the image of normalcy projected to the world, and the memory of something that was anything but normal. They tell us to trust our eyes, to look at the calm facade and believe it. But what about our instincts? What about our common sense? The powerful are very good at managing perceptions, at creating an illusion of control and order. They have teams of people whose entire job is to make sure everything looks normal, especially when it isn't. And that's the real story here. It's not just about what happened on that specific day. It's about the pattern. How many times have we seen this before? A strange event, a confusing explanation, and a rapid return to a carefully curated normal. It's a magic trick played on a national scale. Look over here, they say, while the real action is happening somewhere else, hidden from view. The more they insist everything is fine, the more you have to wonder what fine is really covering up. The silence isn't the absence of noise. It's a sound all its own. It's the sound of a story being controlled. The real question isn't what happened anymore. The real question is, what are they so afraid of us finding out? The White House may look normal again, but don't let that fool you. Sometimes, the most normal-looking things are the best hiding places. The question remains, and it's one we should keep asking. If it was really nothing, why go to such great lengths to hide it? What do you think's really going on? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives.